We're having a reading. Hi, everybody. Hope everyone's doing well. Welcome. It is someday in April. Is it April? It's someday. It's someday. It's at some time. I know it's 10 a.m. because I scheduled the live. I believe it's April 26th. Welcome, everyone. We're just in the lush nature right now, soaking in this walk of remembrance. As the bugs are flying around, we're near the lake, or river, excuse me, near the river. So we've got little bugs and little friends playing around. Hope everyone's doing well. It was a very wonderful weekend over here. Um, Lots of celebration, lots of joy, lots of union, lots of soul family, lots of reparenting our inner child, lots of fun, lots of good memories made. And so here we are, sharing the blessings, sharing the magic. I hope everyone's doing well. So this is our April 26th, I believe, April 26th sacred ceremony of daily messages. So we are going to do a just one card from Wisdom of the Oracle, see what the energetic theme is, and then we are going to switch over to doing a Celtic cross with the original Rider Waite. Very much so for myself in the energy of the goddess, in the energy of the feminine, honoring and in a sacred walk, day to day of just remembering what it is to belong to Mother Earth, to work with Earth's magic, to embody our magic, um, and to keep our walk sacred in every now moment. And that's been such a key theme that I feel like we can just bounce and reverberate this through. Hi, Angela. How's it going, sweetie? Um, oh, we got the goddess here. We got the goddesses here. Love it. Okay, so a part of this sacred walk has been how everything can be turned into sacred ceremony every single day. So even those things that we might see or witness within ourselves that are quote unquote distorted are coming into, for myself, bringing all of this into sacred ceremony and what it is to be with that walk. So it's the walk of the breath. It's the walk of love. It's the walk through the lava, the walk through the fire, the initiation point into a new version of you. And as we traverse these plains and these mountaintops, right? Walking with needing all the different archetypal functions, which we could see as the hero's journey, coming into oneness with ourself. It's really about this walk of making peace with our remembrance and love with our remembrance, right? And so a lot of this has been just being with self, being with self, sharing the magic with my brothers. It's been a weekend filled with brothers, so there's been a lot of brotherly love. So shout out to all my brothers out there that have been with me this weekend and have been celebrating me as I've been celebrating them, and we've been having our good old fun. But very much so taking this time to just be with self within sacred ceremony and to remember what it is to be within this walk of grace. Sometimes this walk of folly, sometimes this walk of play, sometimes this walk of just silence, right? And that's a part of sacred ceremony, is that a lot of this walk is just with silence and with self and with stillness, right? It's with breath, it's with joy, and it's creating ceremony out of everything, witnessing the magic within the mundane, and creating that space for be able to walk with us. So that's very much so been a lot of my journey. Today has been very much so a lot of what I would call the feminine ranges, or if we want to say as the goddess, the priestess, all the archetypes of the feminine showing up to help, to share love, to share space, but also to remind me of many different themes that have occurred through eons of time, and as a result, that does bring up feeling within us, right? And then of course, being in a male body and carrying this much feminine energy and having this much feminine archetype and architecture around me, that creates its own distortion and wobble and bleed through too that we got to work with. So it's one of those things. We allow things to flow in and to flow out. We observe what's going on. We stay neutral, and we stay within our hope, and we hold onto our hearts really, really deeply. So that's been a part of the theme for the day of this walk with the goddess and kind of the energy that's been going through. So we're gonna start out with a wisdom of the oracle. I want to thank you guys for your likes, shares, and subscribes. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of my journey. Thank you for witnessing the magic unfold in my life and in your life as well. We're doing what we can to pray for miracles and sunshine for everyone today, right? And that's been a key thing too. A part of this sacred walk has been about really stepping into that prayer and setting those intentions out, that the miracles show up for us, that we're sharing miracles with the world, which is, you are the miracle at the end of the day, right? And I know it sounds so cheesy and cliche, right? But like the more that you witness what it took for you to get to this now moment, the more you're going to start to see how much of a miracle you are. And that's really the most beautiful part of this journey is like, and once again, I know it's cheesy. I know it sounds cliche. And this isn't some dummy sentence, right? There was a really interesting theme that came up the other day in regards to my own methods of self-value and self-honor. And I had a guide come through and basically say, Corey, you know, to walk the planet Earth isn't easy. Just to wake up in the day isn't easy, right? It's not the easiest thing. And so as a result, it's key to remember to not judge yourself and to go slowly, because sometimes the best thing we can do is just be. Sometimes the best thing we can do is just breathe. Some days, if you can't get out of bed and all you can do is stay in bed, that's enough, right? That's enough. And so it's just witnessing that to travel through this polarity, to travel through this density, to travel through all the different archetypes, to walk the hero's path, to walk the hero's journey, to walk in sacred ceremony isn't quote unquote easy. But what we do is as we're walking through the flames, right? As we're walking through our initiations, as we're walking through our activations, we also remember from deep within that the more that we purify, the easier it gets. Because it really is about remembering within ourselves that we are existing within polarity. And it's how we begin to harmonize with all versions of self and all the polarity to witness the magic unfold as we dissolve at greater and greater levels. And so even for myself, it's been a lot lighter. It's been a lot freer, a lot happier. I can tell that, you know, those shifts that were really monumental in my life for quite some time that were just grueling and just horrible to go through at the time, right? That word, that spell, horrible. Oh, God. Okay, anyway, sorry. I don't like that word. Everything that we went through for a reason, right? And that's been such a key theme here is everything we walk through for a reason. We landed at this point for a reason. Everything we went through was for a reason. And I feel like that's the definition that creates hope within ourselves, right? Is that like everything happened for a reason. And while it didn't have to occur certain ways, now that we're getting to the end, we're like, yo, that didn't have to happen that way. And I didn't need to go through that, right? It's okay. You did for a reason, right? And you're here now, and that's what matters. And so let's come back to this presence, this sacred, safe space. And we're gonna start out with a little bit of a grounding. If you guys wanna join me in some grounding, we're gonna ground into our own unique essence today. So I want everyone to just breathe into that hopeful heart, the diamond light within the heart. Breathe within this space and just expand it through your field. And train yourself to remember what it is to be within the body. So what I was guided to do is imagine that there's a magnet right at your tailbone, right? So right at your tailbone, where it connects to the earth, whether you're sitting down or laying down, it's okay. Imagine that there's a magnet right there, and I want you to just call in all versions of self, all of your energies, all your love, all your power, and just breathe it in and ground and stabilize. And I'm gonna bring in some light language to help ground us all. So we're just grounding in peace and love, grounding in our own unique pathway, grounding in our unique essence. Nahasengo ona e no hano ka e anu shiyama. Mbote arashindo sembo kukuana. Mai anda varashe e haku e ana. Undarashiu kunduana te. Ukerashi mukoana. Da anera is ira uskunoka. So just be grounded and still and present with self. Beautiful. Nasera. So welcome back. Yay, we're here. Okay. So we're gonna start out with we're gonna do one card, Wisdom of the Oracle, and then we're gonna go into the Celtic Cross for the rest. So we're gonna start out with Wisdom of the Oracle. We're gonna pull one card for like kind of like the energetic theme, essentially. We could say it's essentially clouding the reading. So everyone's doing well. So what messages want to come forward for Wisdom of the Oracle today for our beautiful tribe? A beautiful tribe. Sendo por shingur unda vedera. Tasukande ve aquí. Hi, Betty. How's it going? Alrighty. What was it called? Ooh, Mending. Mending. So I love the cosmic weaving of this card. So the mending is coming together and mending. Either this could be relations with self or mending relations with others. So what this is that, you know, what I'm hearing is it's a quote from AA, but the ties that bend, what is it? The ties that bring us together. I don't remember it exactly, but essentially mending, cosmically weaving, right? So versions of self. This could actually be soul repair for some people. This could be an actual soul repair that's been occurring. There's been a lot of stuff with, like, you know, at least over here, there's been some soul fracture stuff that we've been clearing, but this is about mending. So mending relationships with self, mending relationships with others, maybe past life partnerships, maybe there's some karmic connections. You know, the important thing about mending, guys, is it does require a great level of forgiveness. So I actually had a really cool discussion with Brother Michael last night. Brother Michael over at our wonderful Patreon community. Him and I were talking about the forgiveness work, and how we can clear karma with our forgiveness work. And so today, the energetic theme is really about the forgiveness, right? Whether this is forgiveness with self, forgiveness with an archetype, forgiveness with one another, forgiveness with a family member, forgiveness with a relative, right? Really kind of that focus of how we can mend these things, right? Because it is that separation, right? There's been, you know, here's the thing. For a really long time, even myself, when there's something that I didn't like in my reality, I would kick it out, right? I'd push it out. I would say, no, I don't want to deal with this. And I would like kind of like throw the baseball over there. But the thing is, it always bounces back, right? Because we are living within polarity of a pendulum. So the stronger we push something away, the further it comes in, right? So today is really about that mending. Today is about those things that we pushed away. Maybe it's time to invite them in and to belong to them. Maybe it's time to make that call to the loved one or to the relative and to do that forgiveness work. And if you can't call these people or it's not aligned, get out that pen and paper, right? And start writing down that forgiveness. You can also turn this into a mantra. When you feel the resentment come up, forgive it. Forgive self. You know, it's one of those things where whether, like, even if you are a very busy person, right? If you're a busy person and you've got work and you've got kids and you don't have time to be able to do the writing and to do those things, the one thing that you can do is you can start doing this forgiveness work in with yourself, right? So when you feel that resentment come up, oh, I forgive you. When you feel the anger, I forgive you. When you feel the fear, I forgive you. When you feel the sadness or the remorse, forgive it. Forgive it. And that's a walk that we can all do day to day. And by reciting that mantra, you know, of like, I am within forgiveness, or doing the Ho'oponopono work, it's very much so going to assist with this, right? And so we are looking at this kind of cosmic weaving and mending some lifetimes. And what we're doing is it's interesting because here's how we're stitching the skies, right? Every time that we are within the cosmos and doing this, we are threading our cosmic thread, right? We're sewing the cosmic fabric. We're sewing the universe back together, right? We chose to come down into a game of separation. And that game of separation is that we all come together and we start to thread and we start to weave. And so every time we take that moment to forgive and to heal and to love and to reignite the passion and the desire for life again, right? And coming back into that unification, we're actually putting the pieces of the universe back together, right? And the universe was always whole. But us experiencing separation witness things within separation. So it's actually, as we mend self and we connect deeper with self, we unify with the one, we unify with the whole, and we begin to remember how whole and complete this entire experience is, even if it doesn't feel like us, right? Yes, rainbow threads us, and that's a dynamic representation. It's all of us within our human bandwidth coming together and really doing that weaving or that threading today, okay? So we're looking at mending. Okay. So we got the beautiful angel out. I love this angel. Love this angel. Beautiful angel out. There we go. So let's see what wants to come through for the Celtic cross regarding this mending, this cosmic weaving. Celtic cross for today. Celtic cross. Dusty Kumba. Okay, so clouding the reading. Ooh, we're looking at the Seven of Swords. So this mending is something in the past. So it's actually, since we're walking forward, if we do have that still point awareness that there's some past truths that are coming in, what we're doing is we're mending the past. So the Seven of Swords can speak of deception. But it's actually, in this context, it's looking at, as we're walking forward, moving back, there's some things that we left behind. So what we're mending is we're calling back some past experiences and bringing them into the present, bringing them into a space of forgiveness within ourselves, and then walking forward with this new set of eyes, these new ideals, this new knowing, this new wisdom. So a lot of this is like the reshaping or the reframing of the experience so we can end these cycles, because there's something cyclical here, right? There's a pattern that's coming in, and as we excuse me, as we are witnessing this pattern unfold in our own lives, we're witnessing that something happened back maybe years ago, decade ago, past life, right? We're bringing that into the present and going, okay, now it's time to sit with this. It's a part of our garbage that has been limiting our experience. And so if we're going into expressive expansion within our reality and the realities we're connecting to, we're remembering that these things, these old truths that are coming into this now moment no longer serve as we are moving forward. So what we're doing is we're just doing a little bit of cleanup, right? A little bit of cleanup. Let's go to the heart. Ooh. Okay, it makes sense. Okay. Interesting. Family. You need to be doing your journaling. Family. Do your journaling. Oh, yay. Good. Oh, gosh. Okay. Oh, God. Don't on that. There we go. Okay, good. All right. Okay. It's okay, guys. It's okay. Don't worry. It's okay. All right. So at the heart of the reading, we're looking at Five of Cups, and on the side we have the Emperor, right? So what we are seeing is that there is something that's coming in. There's something that was lost on our journey. Okay. There's something that we are grieving within this now moment at the heart. There's some sort of loss. And crossing the reading, we're looking at the Emperor. So we're looking at some sort of masculine archetype, masculine architecture, right? That is creating this grieving. So this could be the old empirical order, right? This could be the patriarch, right? So the thing is that this is, however, this masculine archetype is showing up for you. It is something that has been getting in the way of you being able to see the perspective of what was lost, right? So there is some sort of healing that's occurring with this. So subconscious level, we're looking at the Nine of Pentacles, right? So we are looking at that independent, beautiful, sitting on top of the mountain, feeling very, very, very good. Very good in regards to where we're at with our grounded practicality. So our walk is abundant, it's independent, it's entrepreneurial, it's beautiful, right? This is we receive it all. We receive it all card, and we are feeling very connected to nature, very connected to our divine knowing. Now at the crown level, right, the higher consciousness level, we're looking at Eight of Swords. So there is something in regards to what's interesting about this is that this is all about our thoughts and our perceptions and our beliefs, because we are working with the energy of swords, right? She can easily untangle herself and walk away. She's not caught in this. And so there is something with thought forms and thought structures and belief systems that's creating this quote unquote limitation. And interesting that when we're looking at the crown of the reading, or the cloud of the reading, excuse me, being the Seven of Swords, we're seeing that there's an old truth that exists that is creating this thought form, or this structure, this energetic form, right, architecture, that's creating a limitation. So what we're inviting in is freedom. We're inviting in freedom from this space and place. We're inviting in our freedom from these thoughts and freedom from these belief systems, so we can unlock and unravel this more. And what's really good about this reading, guys, is now that we're aware, we can start working with our transmutation process. So whatever is coming forward for us, we can actually heal it and transmute it fully now that we're aware that there are limitations that we've been believing or perceiving within our own life that has to do with something from the past, something that occurred before this now moment that's carrying to this present moment, that's creating this feeling of stuck, okay? In the past, we're looking at King of Wands. So we're looking at that masculine mastery of our own creation, really very much so stepping into that courage and that bravery of who we are. And in the future, we are looking at the Queen of Pentacles. So we are looking at that stable mother figure, that stable nurture, right? This fire and earth coming together to ignite the true essence of what it is to be within this divine nurture. So because of this, it really is a time to celebrate. Because whatever is lost, right? That which is not pure shall crumble, okay? This, for some reason, is getting in the way. So someone in here, or within this community, or within this collective, and within this grouping, has a version of the masculine that seems to be getting in the way, and there's something that needs to be made at peace with this. And this is why we have this nurturing energy coming forward, right? The mother comes in to heal the father comes in to heal the mother, right? We heal the mother with the father, we heal the mother with the mother, we heal the father with the father as well. But right now, we've got this energy of recognizing that we need to nurture this version of ourselves that has this old framework, or this old connection point to this masculine mastery and whatever it means. It's interesting, actually, how we have the Ankh here, right? So we have the Ankh showing up. So this could be a connection to ancient Egypt. I'm actually highlighting that because of what I'm aware with this ceremony, is that there might be some connections to ancient Egypt, to the priests, to people like Imhotep and Ra and Thoth and those guardians, Anubis, that might be bringing up some things for people, right? So it's almost like this Osiris connection is coming forward a little bit to be healed fully. So it's very interesting that we have this archetype and this archetype here. We've got the Ankhs here, which is the key of life. So essentially, sometimes people think that life isn't fair because they haven't fully unlocked the key to their life and the key to their success, whatever that key might be. So when it comes to working with things like ancient Egypt, when it comes to unlocking our magic, right, is that the perception of this might be X, Y, or Z that is creating this grieving or this loss. This is why this piece is coming in, and this is why the mother is coming in to nurture this. Because in the past, when we see King of Wands, this is very much so like that salamander, fiery, creative magic. Look, he's holding the scepter, right? So we've got the magician here, we've got the mage, the magi holding the scepter on his throne. So whatever archetype this is bringing up something within the lines of magic, Okay, it's bringing it up with the lines of magic. And for some people, seeing a masculine in a black robe wearing all black with an ankh might be triggering off something for people, right? Especially if you have connections to Imhotep or you have connections to ancient Egypt. Like, this archetype itself might have an effect on people. We aren't aware how certain coding affects us, guys, because like even in our reality, it's a part of our epigenetic blueprint. If this is something we ran from a very long time because there's some sort of past life connection, there might be something there. It could be a cross too. I see people that see crosses and they just like, it gets all weird and all, ugh. You know, seeing the Trinity, right? It depends upon where it is within the cellular memory, within the cellular codex that we need to let go of, okay? Message from other versions. Justice, right? Universal law, universal balance is within order. So looking at that Libran energy, we are looking at there is some sort of, there is something coming into balance here. This is something coming into balance. And the balance is the truth. It's the recognition that we hold the truth and that we are here tipping the scales of justice in our favor and bringing things into balance. So whatever is coming forward, it is bringing forward this energy of a universal balance that's at play. And to remember, okay, since this is a message from other dimensional versions, right, we've got that Samael and Mott energy here. Mott coming through very much so to speak on that. That universal law is always in effect. And we are maintaining and sustaining balance in every now moment, right? So everything that is occurring for your highest good, and it's occurring because it is a part of you coming into balance and really finding what your truth is. The one true thing is that there is equal give and take. That's the yin and the yang working together. There's the receptivity. So we are active and then we are passive, right? Masculine and feminine, right? Balance is at play here. And to recognize everything that is occurring for your highest good. This is back to that. There's a reason for everything because balance is here. There is divine law. There is the law of one. And as long as we keep honoring this truth, we recognize that no matter what occurs, it is occurring for the highest because we are on that ascension pathway. All right. So the physical representation of things, the Tower card, right? So we are seeing the phoenix rising from the ashes. So the Tower card speaking of a universal redirection or something coming in that is creating a collapse. This is where the phoenix gets its wings, the dragon gets its upgrade and becomes that phoenix fire. So what's going on is right now, there's a deconstruction of an old civilization or an old memory from our lives that's awakening to this renewal. Hence why the soft nurture comes in, right? Because the emperor here can be a little bit stern, right? And this point of grieving within self is because we're coming into a place of softening. This is what we would call the trial by fire, guys. Trial by fire is you walk through the flames, you go through your emotional purification, you break down, you break open, you break through, and you expand bigger than you've ever been before. So it is a heart awakening. This is a heart awakening. It's a heart experience. But I want to remind you of is with the Five of Cups, it's that energy of that which is not pure shall crumble. What you lost wasn't for your highest good, but there's still two cups standing. And that's that balanced love. If we look at the Two of Cups card, I heal you, you heal me. That's the balanced soul partnerships. That's the reciprocity. That's my cup meets your cup in the middle, and we share that cup and we share it together. We all break bread together. So what was lost is already forgiven. Right? And we don't have to hold on to this memory, but it is about the perspective of what's still what is still holding here, which is the love of one another, the love of self as that reflects all, right? As it reflects all. So, hopes and fears. Page of Wands, learning. We're hoping to learn. We're hoping to access our higher knowing. We're in that prayer of knowing that, you know what, from this experience, okay, we're going to learn. For some people, this actually might be a fear, right? Especially when teachings have brought loss, okay? Because that's the thing is if we keep the perspective on teachings bring me loss, this happened to me, this isn't fair, why is this occurring to me? It's occurring for you, sweetie. It's occurring for you. So the Page of Wands, it could be a hope that, hey, from this, I'm going to learn from this experience. I'm going to embody the wisdom. I'm going to take my journey home. But for some people, it might be that their fear is of learning the lessons from this experience because they don't want to see beyond the fail, don't want to see beyond their own illusion. That's why there's so much Phoenix energy. And it's saying, baby, you need to rise up. It's time to rise up. It's time to fly. There is always a deconstruction of an idea, a belief system, an attitude. And then there's always a rise up through that. You are rising. You are rising. You are the Phoenix. This is you embodying the courage to know that I am the Phoenix and I will rise. And I'll keep rising. So Q Andre, rise up, okay? We are the Phoenix rising and we are learning from the experience. And as a result, this is opening up a new level of walk of mastery. The page opens up the walk to the king, right? So the page is still youthful. right? And it's got a lot of hope. The one thing that's really good about the page is the page has got a lot of fire. Like, the king's already at the end. The king's at the throne, right? He's like, I'm chilling. I got my stuff. I'm doing my thing. I'm doing my do. I got the throne. I got the scepter. I'm cool. I'm taken care of, right? The page, while it's adorned, has no throne, and it's got motivation. So how can this experience motivate you to learn? How can this experience motivate you to keep moving forward? What can it be for you? Right. Now, best possible outcome. Oh, gosh. Three of Swords, Queen of Swords. We're not going to end on a sword, though. We've learned that one. Yay! There we go. Okay. So basically, the best possible outcome is that we're going to recognize that something has been occurring in our life that's been creating a painful memory within the heart space. And as a result, the warrior goddess coming in, retrieving those swords, and handing you off to the mother of love here. So what's happening is that we're going through a walk with the goddess archetype where she is saying, sweetie, baby doll, baby boy, whatever you are, something happened that hurt you. And as a result, the truth will set you free of what occurred in this space, that you don't need to live there anymore. And you are now being handed off to the Queen of Cups, the big mother cup, to be filled up with that essence of love. So we're seeing water and air coming in. We're seeing mind and emotion working together to clear out this heart. So this might be a little, yes, very much so multidimensional healing. You know, Angela, you know. So what this is that we are retrieving the truth from this experience, carrying it forward, blazing that pathway to that essence of divine love. There's so much beautiful mother energy here, guys. Look at this. We have Queen of Swords, Queen of Cups, and the best possible outcome. And in the future, we have the Queen of Pentacles. So we have all the goddesses coming together to help us to heal the heart. Right? We have the feminine, the mother, helping us to heal the heart of whatever this is from this masculine wound and this masculine archetype. Right? The one that caused the loss, the one that caused the suffering, the one that caused the grieving. No more. Okay? Remember, old truth that doesn't need to be belonging in this newness that you are creating. And today it is about mending this. It is about mending this within self, mending this within all. And it's because, why is this happening? Because we got that masculine download. We got that salamander fire. We got that courage of our magic. We got that wizard. We got that creative energy of the masculine online. And what happens when that happens? Bam, masculine distortion, right? So remember, guys, when we anchor fully an archetype into the body, right, the purified essence of that, we then begin to shift out the distortion. So whatever this is for you is a collapse because there's an old story that's leaving and you are the phoenix rising from the ashes. Just remember that. And remember, universal balance, universal law here, right? We are coming into a space of balance. This is something where justice is being served. We know what the truth is. We know that the goddess is here. We know that the 12 and the man with the white beard is no more. And there has been a lot of stuff happening with Jupiter and Jove over this weekend. My version of Jove got a little talking to. And so there is some sort of masculine restructuring. And as a result, this grieving, guys, this grieving is just a purification of the heart space. And it is a revelation within self that there was something, there was a splinter, there was a thorn, there was something in the heart that needed to be pulled out by the beautiful, beautiful goddess. And as a result, we have a new level of truth that's embodying this love that's carrying us forward home into this space of divine nurture. Okay? So this is a good reading. Now that we've unpacked it, it's a good reading. I first saw it and I was like, oh God, what's going on with us? This is a beautiful, 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 beautiful reading, right? So essentially, we anchored a masculine architecture, a masculine archetype into the field. What's happening? We're now purifying and cleansing that, and we're coming back into a place of nurture, right? So we brought in this father energy. This whole Jupiter thing is getting purified from our hearts. If you know about Jupiter, you do. So we're looking at that Zeus. We're looking at that, especially here with the King of Wands. We're looking at that Mars Jupiter energy. So, but I want to tie this to Jupiter. We're going through this Jupiter purification. We're remembering that there is a key of mastery held within this experience. It's not blocking you. You need to retrieve the gift from this. There's a mastery key for you in this healing, guys. There is something here for you. Because once again, the key of life, the Ankh here, is available. It is a mastery key. So essentially, you're going in, you're getting that thorn out of your heart, you're getting that thorn out of your paw, you're retrieving your mastery code, and you're coming into a place of divine nurture within the essence of the mother. So it's all beautiful. It's all beautiful. I want to remind you guys, though, that this is a silly card and a silly energy. We don't have to get stuck in this. Now that we know it, we're going to transmute it fully from our little collective group, and we're going to purify this, right? So we call in that freedom, right? So these energies, these storylines will appear in different threads. There's a lot of us in this room actually that have been working with the Jupiter and the Jove archetype and the Zeus archetype for a few months and going through our cleansing and purification of it, right? So this is basically just another round of purification because some shit got all hot and bothered about whatever's going on, and we're unlocking that. But this also does tie into that priest archetype, and I do see this tying to ancient Egypt. I don't fully know how Jupiter or how Jove or how Zeus ties into ancient Egypt. So guys, if you get any downloads, please reach out. But we're just seeing another thread or level layer of clarity, which is good, which is very, very good, which means that there is some sort of purification. There's something that happened in the heart that needs to be released. And as long as we surrender to this, we are blazing the pathway back to love. Okay, so we're just blazing the pathway back to love. Yay! Okay, we're done. All right, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh boy, it's gonna be one of those days. Ew. Yeah, thank you, Angela. Thank you. I want to talk to you later about this and unpack this. Perhaps something got triggered off this weekend. Perhaps something got triggered off this weekend. Either way, it's all good, guys. It's all good. So thank you, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hold on, get that surfing love there. There we go. Surfing love coming in. Coming in hot. Coming in hot. Alrighty. Here we go. There's been a lot coming up with ancient Egypt and Jupiter and Jove and all these things today, so you know how it is. You know how it is. Yippee-ki-yay! Let's go. Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Hey, Juice. How's it going, Juice? Yes. So we're all seeing some Jovian Jupiter archetype cleaning. We got Jehovah getting cleaned up. We got the god getting cleaned up because we're coming back into the goddess, which is good. There's another level of this. There's a lot of goddess energy this weekend, especially out at in Sedona. Thank you, Angela. Thank you. So yeah, so there was a lot of goddess energy that was showing up this weekend. Thank you, Twitty, appreciate it. Thank you for the donations. A lot of that showing up this weekend, and so as a result, we're going to sit with the goddess and we're going to purify and cleanse this, right? And hey guys, if you need assistance with this, please feel free to reach out. I am randomly opening up donation sessions. Okay, so make sure to check the community page because I posted the other day where I was doing and donation sessions that have quantum healings involved in them. So if you guys want a reading or you want a session, please feel free to reach out. You can go to foundersoflight.org. You can also go you can send me an email, foundersoflight@gmail.com. Got so many different services going on, so many upgrades inbound for all of us that are healing this Jupiter stuff, and the 12 and the 6 and the 6 and the Odin and all of it, purifying, coming back to the goddess. But you know, we're doing what we can in that walk to heal the feminine. I want to state this. It came through yesterday for me. It came through for me yesterday where there was some versions of self that were still angry at the feminine. Nightside. Oh, thank you, Game Crusher. There's some stuff that was going on with the there was some Nightside masculine archetype that didn't like the feminine, that was really upset over this feminine wound, and it was because it had been hurt by the feminine, right? And so even myself, I've gone through this, a lot of my journey. If you saw what I did with who was it? Who was I with? Oh, it was with Sherry. When I did my Sherry healing, I talked about how there are stories within self when I stepped into spirituality, when I stepped into spiritual communities, where like I was very much so attacked by women, and I didn't understand why. It was because of Zeus. It was because of Zeus. It was because of Jupiter. It was because of those lines. It was because of so many stories that we don't have to get into, right? So I found out even within myself that I had, you know, night side versions of myself that didn't like women, and it was like, what? Are you kidding me? Like, I'm very, like, I've got a partner. Like, all my friends are women, right? Like, if you like, wait a minute, how is this happening? And this is why it was important for me to, and it's been really important for me to connect to my brothers. It's because the brothers have been helping me with this. And it, you know, the tendrils of it are very slight, right? I'm very not an angry person. Like, I'm actually, I've gone through a whole lot of purification and trial by fire and a lot of emotional dismantling to get to this point where those things don't really affect me that much anymore, but there's still threads of it, which means that that archetype is playing out in the collective. So at some level there's a masculine wound, there's a dirty dog out there. You're not dirty, I love you, but there's a dirty dog out there who's mad at the feminine, and the goddess is coming in to help us to heal it and to clear that archetype and to make sure that on all levels that we are safe to be within our feminine and our masculine ranges, and that we no longer have to like get mad at God. God serves a role in the functioning, and there's a lot of distortion and shit that doesn't make sense. And the man in the white beard, you know, we've had issues, but he also belongs too as a part of the story, right? He belongs as a part of the story. And so, you know, for me, I've been hanging out with more of my goddess men, which, you know, shout out to all my priestess brothers out there that are out there doing the oracle work and are embodying the goddess fully. I love you. And that's been helping a lot with shifting and transitioning this cycle out, because it's a level of brutality and war that we don't need anymore. And it's helping us to embody a new level of passion and peace and serenity within ourselves, and another place of divine surrender, right? That we've gotten all mixed up in archetypes, that things are a little backwards, right? And that it's okay. Like, we all belong to the one. And when we shoot it back to source and just go straight up to the original creator of our soul, there is no masculine and feminine, there is no polarity, there's nothing. It's just it's everything and nothing. And that means that at some level we've been experiencing separation through the cosmos, which, once again, the more we repair those lines from within, the more that we come back into the oneness, and the more that we remember we've been playing a dirty game. We've been playing a dirty game. It's called Cosmos, and it's a dirty game. And we're bringing peace to that. And as long as we keep surrendering to the pathway and keep surrendering to that, like, you know, that shoulder roll, that booty shake, whatever it is for you, the more that we're gonna relate better to self, or relate better to one another, relate better to the archetypes and the architecture, and the more that we're gonna relate better to all of our cosmic selves, right? So this is just a nice little all-flow cleanup for us to shift some attitudes and belief systems out. And at the end of the day, even though I'm speaking of archetypes and stories, guys, this comes down into programming. It comes down into belief systems. It comes down to belief systems. And so we're just going to keep doing this cleanup. Tonight we've got Tuesdays with Corey. So if you want to join us over on Patreon, go over to the link is in the description box to join us on Patreon. We'll discuss this a little bit more. So obviously we're going to have to handle some Joe stuff. I've been dealing with that this weekend with Jupiter, and I've had a lot of assistance with that. So obviously there's another levels of cleanup, but we know how this goes. This one's going to be easy, guys. It's just an easy purification. And remember, we're coming back into that essence of nurture, right? So let's keep our eyes on that prize of what the future is, which is our heart is going to be open wider, okay? We're gonna be able to hold more divine love. We're coming into that Queen of Cups energy, which is the biggest cup of love and the biggest love of emotional fulfillment in the feminine archetype. But then we've also got the Queen of Pentacles, which is the most so we have like the lineup of the warrior feminine with Mama Love and Mama Nurture all coming in. So this is bringing us to a sense of deeper connection with self, and a deeper connection of love, and a deeper connection with that water energy and what that flow means for us, right? So guys, deep divers, I love you all. We're going to keep purifying. We're going to keep holding our hearts. We're going to keep praying and saying thanks, and just inviting in forgiveness for these archetypes as we go through this restructuring and we go through this dismantling. I want to remind you guys, you are the phoenix rising up from the ashes, right? So remember, that which is not pure shall crumble, right? So it's a part of that. It's just old stuff falling. And here's the thing is, everything that is meant for you, everything that is meant for your highest good will always belong. And everything that gets ripped apart or ripped out of your hands, it's a part of universal redirection. And this is divine guidance holding you in divine surrender, holding you in love, right? So remember, that which is for you is always going to be for you. You don't have to attach to it. You don't have to attack it. You don't have to control it. You don't have to manipulate it. You know, if you love it, let it go. If you love it, let it go. It will always fly back to you. Remember that, right? And if it doesn't, it's not meant for you. So this is just us letting go, whether it's emotionally, physically, mentalities. All of this was showing emotions and mentalities. It wasn't showing anyone else. But as a result, it's time for us to make peace with this masculine archetype, to say, you know what? Yeah, some bullshit went down, right? Yeah, you did a lot of messed up stuff, right? But the goddess forgives. And so as we forgive the masculine more, the masculine forgives us. And not just the male form, but the masculine energy. So the more that we forgive the masculine energy, the more that reciprocal balance of the masculine energy coming in and sharing that gift with us, the more we come into what it is to witness that divine essence of that space of neutrality, right? So remember your infinity loops. Remember, we're just working through polarity, and whatever you're feeling is perfect for you. It's perfect for you. So I love you guys. Bye, everyone. We're going to do a little chat catch up. Look at that. Look at that. Urgh. Sorry, I'm loud. Oh, Genevieve, we love you. In my eyes, you're not the whipping post. Definitely not. Well, you know, Genevieve, I want to state this. I know for me, what I want changes. Because as I evolve, so my wants and desires evolve too. So the thing is I noticed for myself, I have to allow myself the opportunity to just keep flowing and keep surrendering, because my wants and my desires change every day, right? And so that's been a big one for me, has been allowing myself to flow with the newness and allowing myself to flow with what I need in every now moment, and allowing that to change. Here's the thing that I would say is that this is why I really stick to fundamental frequencies for when it comes to desires. So rather than like if it's justice, standing for love, standing for balance, standing for freedom, standing for peace, those things are really important, right? Now the thing is though too is that once we stand for something, we're gonna notice those. Oh God, what's the song? It's a song by Fun, and it goes, "What do I stand for? What do I stand for? Oh, it's some nights I stay up cashing in my bad luck. Some nights I call it a draw. Some nights I wish that my lips would build a castle. Some nights I wish they'd just fall off, but I still wake up. I still hear your ghost. Oh Lord, I'm still not sure what I stand for. What do I stand for? What do I stand for?" Yeah. And I feel like that's a part of this. It has been, the key has been finding what it is that we stand for. Like even myself, like I'm constantly changing for those belief systems that I stand for. And this is why I try to keep it very simple. I stand for love. I stand for healing. I stand for unity. But I also stand for everyone being in their unique expression. Because I do not want all of us walking around being the same. I really don't. And think what that is. No, I just don't, right? Our differences, our polarity, our contrast is what gives us this beautiful painting, right? So if we even look at this background, all of this is built on different shades, hues, tones, all coming together to bring forward this picture into the reality. So if this is a mosaic, every drop of color, every splash of intuition within this space of consciousness reverberates at a frequency that creates this beautiful landscape. If it was all green, if it was all white, it would be boring, right? So we've got green, we've got browns, we've got some leaves that are dead and some that are flourishing. And then we got a weird white boy wearing a cloak and wearing an ankh, right? Like there's all the shades, tones, and hues work together to paint this beautiful, vibrant picture. And so differences actually create contrast to gift us the glowing essence of what the picture or the canvas that we paint of that this world is. And this is where in some levels polarity is needed and necessary to keep the magnets balanced, but it's how we work within that space of polarity and where we find neutrality through it, right? So it's recognizing as brother Alex would say it, every cog has a necessary functioning in the wheel of reality, right? And then my brother Tyler said that to me a while ago, years ago too, same thing, which was that every cog has a functioning in the wheel of reality. So if we see this as a giant machine, every part serves the whole and serves the one. And so those differences are needed because that contrast gives us scope, it gives us frame, it gives us knowing, it gives us perspective. And this is the same thing as every fractal of the diamond coming together to work with the one. And as we take that diamond and we shift it around, we recognize that every part of it is serving the one. That is the diamond light consciousness. That's the multidimensional expression, right? And a lot of it is multi-perspective as well. And so this is where we just keep tuning up and embodying what our truth is in every now moment and keep standing with that and keep being that space of whether it's love or it's integrity or it's kindness or it's grace or it's chaos, whatever it is for you, right? Like I don't play in those realms, in those worlds, but I see how it functions and how it works. Even divide steps forward into us being able to come into our alchemy of transmutation and to bring everything back to love. So the divine essence of ourselves is the divine forgiveness, right? And that awakens to the divine remembrance, right? And so that's a part of our transcendence as well, as we get to this point of, there's a lot of people that speak of forgiveness work, and I work with it a lot, but there's also people that say, we're not here to forgive, we're here to remember. We're here to remember that we came into a game of separation where we're unifying it here and now. Which means that all the wounds, all the stories, all the pain, all the heartache, all the abuse, we wrote it into our own story. Because we're creators. And that's the experience we wanted to have so we could remember what it is to be one. Now, do we need to keep perpetuating those cycles? That's why these energies exist for us, to purify. Because the more that we purify, the more we cleanse, the more we remember that we are Elohim, that we are Creator, that we are these things, that we don't have to play by those stories anymore. We don't have to struggle to thrive. We don't have to go through emotional abuse and emotional turmoil or neglect to remember that we're loved. It's safe to be loved right here. It's safe to be free right here. It's safe to be held right here. You don't have to experience those old storylines. But a part of it is we have to shift the narrative. Trauma cycles exist because we still remain within victim consciousness. Anytime you're in a victim consciousness, you call forward the polarity of victimizer to help you to show you that you're a victim. So if you can surrender to that space of, hey, I'm being a victim right now, but I'm going to empower myself to say no more, that I am free to be empowered, I am free to be loved, and I am free to transcend those old narratives, you're not going to stay in those narratives anymore. But you're the one that casts the spell based upon the belief system, based upon your soul's integrity, and your ability to be able to advocate for yourself and to be able to advocate for others if you want to as well. Stand up with your courage to say, you know what, I'm worth more than this. I don't have to play with those old rules and those old designs. I now can awaken to a new flow from within me, and does it feel good, okay? Just remember, you're loved, you're held, you're supported, right? And no matter what is going on within you, right, it's okay to be right where you're at. And what you're feeling for a reason. What you're sharing for a reason. What you're shifting for a reason. And where you are, you're meant to be. And sometimes even myself, I'm like, how the heck does this universe do this to me? Well, I created this experience for myself. Because this is how I gifted myself. The lessons and the blessings within this now moment. And everything is a miracle working for my highest good. And everything right now is a miracle for you working for your highest good. And we're going to clear this all with ease, grace, and flow. We're going to bring balance to this situation and know that Libran quality, that justice energy, is holding us in a place of bringing universal balance to things that need to come in on all sides and on all levels. Okay. So I love you guys. Much love and respect to all of you out there. Thank you for your likes, shares, and subscribes. Thank you for everything. Thank you for the donations too. Love you guys. Oh, you're all so beautiful as well. So love you guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of this journey. Thank you for sharing your magic with the world. And I invite you all to just stay close to your hearts and know that nurture is the quality that is going to shift this forward for us. And there's a lot of beautiful energy that is supporting this transition and this shift and this purification. So just keep letting go on all levels. Remember, you are the phoenix rising from the ashes, and that we're mending this as a community. We're mending this as a collective, right? So this is very much so not just a singular form of expression. This is a collective healing that's going on, right? This is a collective healing that's going on. And as long as you remember that, right, then we all doing work together on our parts. It doesn't mean you start taking on things for the collective, right? Right? So you're owning your sovereign, neutral part of the storyline and allowing the rest to unravel within its own time. So remember, guys, you don't have to take on this story to shift it out. Okay, please don't do that. You're not a martyr, right? You're not a martyr. Everyone's got a higher self. Everyone's got a universe. Everyone's got a story, right? So if this is not a part of your story, please let it go. Don't pick it up for the collective. Honor yourself that if this storyline exists within you and it needs to be purified, it will. But please, don't start transmuting for the collective. Don't start taking on that stuff. That's that whole Chiron, martyr, Atlas crap, and it doesn't belong, okay? Be an empowered soul. Know what's yours, know what's right for yours, and let the rest fall. So please use your discernment, right? And if this storyline isn't for you, I invite you to just shift it out now and to say, thank you, Corey, I love you, I honor you, I bless you. Let's let it go, right? Yes, pick you up. We've all got higher selves. We've all got other dimensional versions. We've all got gods and goddesses. We've all got archetypes. We've all got divine flow, even if people aren't aware of it, right? So as long as we surrender to the fact that everyone's empowered within their own state, within their own stage, within their own I am presence, to work through whatever they need to work through, then the easier it's going to be on all of us. So some of us don't have to carry weight of other people or weight of tribe. It's unnecessary. It's unnecessary. So love you guys. I bid you adieu. And I'm going to go be silly with the trees for a little bit and do some dancing. So tonight, guys, on Patreon, Tuesdays with Corey, it'll be on at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. 6 p.m. Mountain Time. So if you want to join us over on Patreon, you're more than welcome to. If you don't want to join Patreon, but you just want to show up to see how it is, shoot me an email. I'm open to receiving donations for people if they want to just come in and check it out and get a healing as we discuss more of this line and unpack further what we're doing. So I love you guys. I love you. I love you. I love you. We're just going to go ahead and send this one away with the highest form of love and truth and clarity. And I will see you guys in another moment of the now. Mwah. Love you. Ciao.